Welcome back. The Evansville Philharmonic Orchestra is celebrating a major milestone.
And there is a lot in store as they're kicking off their 90th anniversary season. Joining us this morning, music director Roger Kalia and director of development Weston Whitehouse. Good morning. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Very exciting season. So 90 years.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that before we even get in. For the Evansville Philharmonic, what has that entailed for folks here, musicians here?
It's an exciting celebration for us. You know, we're looking ahead to the orchestra's future, but we're also celebrating the past of the orchestra. 90 years is a huge milestone year for us. We're going to be celebrating with some great music, great collaborations. And I do want to thank also our 90th anniversary season sponsors, Mr. and Mrs. G. Richard Eykamp. Without them, this does not happen. So thank you. But yes, we have an incredible season in store for everyone.
And we'll get more into what is in store here in a second as well. But for folks that might not be familiar with Evansville Philharmonic, where do you guys perform? Maybe if they're not from Evansville, give us a little background about what you guys do here.
Of course. So our home, our musical home, I call it, is the Victory Theater right here in downtown. And it's an incredible venue, great acoustics. But we also perform all over the city. You know, we have an Uncorked series where we go out into the community and play in different restaurants and bars and things like that. But we also have a diversity series, a new tradition series where we go to churches, synagogues, those sorts of things. And it's an incredible series where we're getting our musicians out into the community and doing and playing as much music as possible.
And Roger, how long have you been in town? I know you've only been here like maybe a year or so, but how did you find us in the first place? And it's a very selective field that you're in.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, this is my 5th year on the job. So I started in 2020, right when the COVID pandemic happened, which was very challenging, you know. But we were fortunate to still perform at the Victory Theater, put on concerts. And I love Evansville. Like I said, my wife and I moved here a year ago from Bloomington. And we're excited to be here and get to meet so many different people and collaborate with these incredible musicians who come from all over the region. You know, of course, we have a number of musicians in Evansville, but we also have a number coming from Indianapolis, Bloomington, Nashville, you name it. It's an incredible group of people.
And now, it is a luxury to have a Philharmonic Orchestra in any city, any major city, even the smaller cities like Evansville. But Weston, this is not possible without a lot of sponsorships, a lot of money coming in.
Yes.
And a lot of times the folks that contribute don't get the headlines for that, but you guys do reap the rewards.
Yes, absolutely. And we have tons of sponsors already this year, especially Mr. and Mrs. G. Richard Eykamp, who's doing the whole thing. But we have about $40,000 left to raise for the season, and we kick off on September 21st. So we still have time to hit that goal before our opening night. You can be anonymous. You can do it in memory of someone. You can be a business. You can go in with a group of friends. You have all these options that we can do to get recognized throughout the tri-state.
And it'll go to such a great cause.
Yes.
Music, the arts here. I know we always talk about sports, but I am a fan of the arts here.
No. She's warmed me up to some of it. She's a fan of performance, and I've learned a lot by that. But yeah, I've been to a show before. And when you sit in the Victory Theater, and of course it's they had the marquee, you know, enhanced in the last couple of years to really give us some civic pride. But it is an extraordinary venue, even empty, when the stage is not full of any performers. Just going into that place. But I can imagine with the acoustics you talk about, it does kind of bring that place to life.
Absolutely, yes.
So you mentioned opening season September 21st. Let's get into what the season entails. The 90th year, it's a celebration, and it's going for several months. So and we have full screens too, because it's quite a bit on like what we're looking at.
It's one of our most ambitious seasons yet. I mean, to celebrate 90 years, we wanted to go big. So opening night is September 21st. We're going to celebrate with Tchaikovsky's 4th Symphony, one of the greatest symphonic works ever composed. We're going to feature violin superstar Anna Kiko Myers, an incredible violinist who's played all over the world. And also then we have our semi-stage musical, Ragtime, our first ever musical.
One she was
I am excited about
But
that.
she's going to be out of town.
You should audition. It's going to be a community-wide collaboration with singers from all over Evansville, our incredible Evansville Philharmonic Chorus. They're so talented, 94 people on stage. And I do want to mention, we're ending the season with Star Wars: A New Hope. When I say that, we're going to have the full the movie projected on a screen above the orchestra, with the orchestra playing the score to the 2.5-hour film in sync with the movie.
Now,
Something that is very, I want to say, somewhat rare because it's such a big project.
And you have peppermint pops too in the winter. I
Yes.
know a lot of folks go to that as well.
Well, and you do these specialty theme nights too to kind of bring in a different audience too. I mean,
Yeah,
if folks aren't, warmed up to an orchestra experience. Maybe after that, that's enough to draw them in.
That's right. That's a big part of it, and it's for the entire family, the kids, the parents, and people dress up. It's an event. It's not even a concert. It's an event.
And
So
how do they?
It's very exciting.
As a person that doesn't pay close attention all the time, or has a squirrel brain at moments, and she can attest to that, but how do they pay attention for 2.5 hours to what's happening on that screen as well as the direction they're getting?
Well, the exciting thing is you get to see close to 100 people on stage. So I think it adds to the movie because you get to see this incredible orchestra playing live, your favorite scenes in the movie, and it syncs with those, say there's an explosion, you hear it in the orchestra, in the percussion or the brass. It's a really incredible feature of doing a movie score.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up, how excited are you both? I mean, this is this had to put in a lot of work. And a lot of musicians, a lot of talent. So what did it take for you guys to put this together?
I think it took us about a year to put the whole season, maybe even longer,
I
to
think
put
closer to
together.
2
Yeah,
years,
2 years.
yeah.
I've been here a year ago.
Yes.
So
Wow.
it's been a
Yeah.
process.
So much excitement. And where can people buy tickets if they're saying, hey, I want to see what the season entails, I want to sign up? Where can they go to get those tickets, to get more information?
Well, I always say go to our website, evansvillephilharmonic.org. Just go there and you can find all the ticket information on the website, all the concerts, and it's easily laid out, and we hope to see everyone this season. It's going to be a big one, so we want you to come. Tell your friends, tell your family.
And there's a lot of chances to go, so no
Absolutely.
excuses. Thank you both so much for coming
Thank you
on
so much for
today.
having
We
us.
hope for a
Thank you.
fantastic season. Griffin Glasscock, she is here. She is tracking your Wednesday forecast ahead.